Hello there! I'm Squire Kalahan Ridgeborn, almost a battlemaster, always a wizard, and tonight I am joined by Chopz the Redeemed, a Paragon wizard from the Kingdom of Winter's Edge. Chopz, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Glad to be here.
I'm so excited to have you on. This is our last day of the 12 days of Christmas. We're doing 12 Paragons, 12 Kingdoms. Today is December 24th, and we are finally on Wizard. This is a Christmas present to myself. I'm so excited to get in here.
I'm glad I could be the present under the tree, brother.
It's going to be great. So, where is Winter's Edge in the country?
Winter's Edge is based out of Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas, and a few parts in Kentucky. So I am in Tennessee from Knoxville, which is actually one of the originating parks of Winter's Edge whenever it was the Southeastern Alliance. So like big names like Shalazar, Gillen, all the old names that started Winter's Edge is where I'm from. So
Oh, that's super cool. Chops, what is the main job of a wizard on the battlefield?
hate. No. The main job of a wizard, I believe, is if we're thinking of a tactician, right? So I believe
Hmm.
that a wizard's job is kind of knowing what is going on the battlefield, right? Because normally wizards are kind of in the midfield or long range, and they kind of want to see what's happening. They want to pick out the problems on field and handle those problems, whether they be a spellball wizard or a verbal wizard. Verbal wizards are walking up being like amulet, blah 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 blah, or spellball wizards are just like ice ball, entangle, sphere ball, whatever you got in your bag, right? So that's what I believe a wizard is, and what really ups their game.
All right. How did you get your start in Amtgard?
Oh boy! So my first official sign in was in 2006. One of my good buddies named Bunch the Drunk, who unfortunately is no longer with us, God rest his soul. He introduced me to Amtgard whenever I was a little wee lad, and I had to catch rides with my brother out to a local park. And ever since then, it's just been a snowball, man. It's been great. I've met some amazing people in my life, met people from different kingdoms, and it's great to just have this resource of not only just like a game I could play, but also just having friends, especially as a nerd in school. It's hard to get friends that don't understand your,
Mm.
type of, autism that, I have at least. But it's good to have a group of friends, especially for a fun game like this that we play.
Absolutely. What is your favorite kind of battle game to play wizard in?
Ooh. So Winter's Edge recently did a Battlemaster tournament. So it was a
Hmm.
5v5 with two tag-ins that you could do. And it was a multitude of games. I want to say that my favorite was a capture the point game where we had rods out on the field. And I believe there was three. And you had to it was PVC pop, and one side was colored and the other side was another color, and you had to
Hmm.
capture those points, and then you get points at certain increments, or by the end of the game we got these points or whatever. I can't exactly remember how it was played, but that one's my favorite just because I feel like it just keeps rolling, and a lot of
Yeah.
things could happen during those times, especially with a 3 point capture. Is you wipe their team, and then all of a sudden they have all the points, and then you come back, and if you don't do well, then they're still going to have them. They're going to call time, they get those points, and then we carry on. I feel that it can be it can really work your mind to be like, okay, that guy's a problem. Got to handle that guy for us to capture the points. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's my favorite type to play for
I
sure.
like it. Okay. So, what made you start playing wizard? Why'd you pick it up?
My friends love me, right? So
Hmm.
at the time, I want to say like to be honest, like my first like 10 to 15 years of Amtgard,
Hmm.
never touched the rule book. Didn't care to. I was just like, I just want
Oh
to swing
man.
stick. I want to swing stick. I don't really like battle games. I just want to go to events and have fun with my friends and talk and, you know,
Hmm.
cause shenanigans and just be myself. And it's not until recently that I picked it up and I was like, you know what? I want to be the best ball wizard that I could be because it's super easy. You say the one thing, I'm filled with the power of magic, and then the
Hmm.
world is yours to control, right? That's really what kind of started it. I don't think it was any particular person. I think it was more or less like the battle games in Winter's Edge were starting to pick up, especially after
Okay.
code, because everybody wanted to hit everybody, right? And everybody wants
Yeah.
to be seen. And the battle games is where you want to be seen. So that's kind of where it started. I started out with a class that was ball, a few verbals, stuff like that, like a well-rounded. I could handle like people that were insubstantial with banish and just like shove people, throw people, use throw on the barbarians because it's sorcery, goodbye, 50 feet, and to handle problems with the spell balls, of course. That's what I
Hmm.
started at, and then I blended into EB, elemental barrage. So that just opened up a whole nother doorway of just being like, I'm the problem now. But whenever it comes to it, is elemental barrage is like a shotgun, right? You go out and then you're just like, blah. You toss everything you have, and then it's just like it's done. And then you can pick up your spell balls and continue to throw as long as you charge it, but your EB ends, right? And then we before we started, we talked about Bard, and this is where Bard comes into play because they can give you whatever to charge it back up, and you can go back at it, right? It also takes a lot of time to collect your spell balls, and you can only throw a limited amount by whatever you buy. And I feel that, especially in a small team-based game for a Battle Master, EB Wizard is probably one of the most clutch things you could do, especially whenever they're like, okay, that guy's a problem. Time to handle it. Chopz, tag in. All right, Sphere of Annihilation. Whoosh. Goodbye, armor. Goodbye, dude. Everything, goodbye. Like, it takes that one ball to just absolutely decimate an entire team. Problem, goodbye. And you have your ice balls to freeze, whoever you can. Entangles are really good as well. I feel that entangling, the people that are kind of in the back line, so that way they can't move like healers. I remember during the Battle Master, I hit a healer with an entangle as he was walking out of spawn. He said alive, and an entangle hit him, and his people were legged in front of him, and it was like the best thing that came
you got
of it.
him.
And I was like, I aced him hard, so it was super cool.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. So, I mean, you've already mentioned the spell balls a little bit, but what makes Wizard unique amongst all the casting classes?
I feel that Wizard can be the most well-rounded, right? Especially for battle games. Like, you look at, normally before I play battle games, I kind of look at my spell list. I tend to not run EB as much anymore because I want to practice my verbals, because now I've moved on to another class, but also just like picking out what you really want to do for the day. What's your goal, right? Like, do you want to say a bunch of stuff to just practice incants? Okay, you can do that. Do you want to practice handing out enchantments? You can do that as well, especially some of the better enchantments. And even like the verbals that help your team, like teleport. Okay, send this guy away. See you later. Oh, he's in the back line. Half your team's dead. Not the Wizard's fault, TE. And then it is what it is. What it is. That's kind of I believe they're the most well-rounded spellcaster in the rule book. Besides Druid, I mean, Druid can do a lot of things as well, but I think Wizard is the go-to. Like, you want to do magic? Here you go. Here's a plethora of just crazy builds that you can do, and it's unending because no spell list will ever be the same.
Yeah. So, which Wizard spell do you like the best? Which one's your favorite?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
The best Wizard spell, man, that's a good one. I honestly like Throw. I think Throw is underutilized. And dude, it's like 20-foot range, and it's sorcery, so you can use it on barbarians. And it's 50 feet instead of the normal 20 shove. I think that's great because 50 feet is a pretty far range to put somebody out of the game, especially on like a bridge battle. If you think that you can't shove them off the side, if it's like lava boundaries or whatever, and you hit them at that right angle with even just a shove, but a throw, if you know you're not going to do it, it will send them way back to the point to where they will be, lava walled and be killed. But I think throw is one of my favorites, just because I love to use it on barbarians and be like, I'm a mutant. No, it's sorcery. See you later. And they're like,
oh, that's great. I've always had trouble with the idea of throw because, like, and the thing for me is always that shove is naturally rechargeable, and it's recharge times 3, whereas throw, if you want to be able to recharge it, that's a times 10.
Yeah, and throw's also refresh as well, so it kind of sucks. And it's one of those things where it's like, I like to pick out the problems, right, and just be like, that guy needs to go away, especially the barbarian that's up there with a big pole arm, or just being egregious the whole time, poking your shields, poking your friends. It's like, I need to get the guy out of here as fast as I can. And my power throws is really good. So, I mean,
for sure. Which spell on the wizard list do you like the least?
Let's see here. Unpopular opinion, I think wounding is probably one of the most root spells, and I don't like it because it's happened to me. And it's just like, oh, they wounded my right leg. I guess I'm leg now. And as a dude my age and my knees don't work the way they do, I can't really take legs anymore. So I'm just like posting, and then I die because I get shot by an arrow to that same leg. And it's like, well, I guess I learned my lesson. Just take wounding from now on. That's my least favorite spell. I think that it's just kind of just like people can just walk up and do it, and then you die if you're already legged. They strike off your right arm. Goodbye. You're done. I just feel that
Well,
it can
wounding
be.
doesn't work if you. It only works on an uninjured victim.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sorry, my bad. But I feel that wounding,
Mhm.
especially whenever you're just knocking legs off people, or even if they have a pole arm and you knock an arm off, that's just like, oh crap, can't use my pole arm besides swinging it like a crazy man. You
Mhm.
know, I think that could be a root spell, and it's my most unliked, and I never use it. So
All right, fair enough. What is a non-meta aspect of Wizard that you enjoy?
non-meta aspect of wizard that I enjoy.
Like everybody knows Sphere of Annihilation's good. Everybody knows Icy Blast Shatter is good. What's the like? What's the thing that's your secret sauce?
I mean, Entangle, Drag Below, like that one's a good combo to use. I feel like it's
Mhm.
underutilized for sure. That one, and also just like I can't remember. I'm still learning the verbal spells. So like the one that puts people in substantial. I don't even know if Wizard gets that one.
Yeah, Astral
Um,
Intervention. We got four of them.
Astral. So I think the Astral Invention is also a secret sauce because that could also handle problems. And like I said,
Mhm.
whenever I play Wizard, I'm picking out the problems on the field. So everybody's a problem, and I'm just the
Yeah.
hate, right? I'm the hate that's fueling it. So I think that the Astral Invention and then Drag Below can also be a secret sauce that not a lot of people I see use at all, really.
Okay. What part of the Wizard class do you find the most difficult, the most challenging?
Um, Resistances. I call them resistances. What people are immune to, right?
Mhm.
Like you can't throw an ice ball at a barbarian, obvious, and stuff like that. Understanding what people do. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to steal life a is it a AP that's immune to death
No, you're thinking Paladins. Yep.
paladin, and I do it so much, and I hate myself for doing it so much. Like I said, I'm still learning this stuff, and I've done it to my good buddy at Park Subway. I do it to him all
Mhm.
the time, and he plays paladin all the time, and I should know it by now. And he's like, "I'm immune," and I'm like, "I'm dumb." And it's just like, just because you're immune doesn't mean I can't use it, and I just run away because I'm silly. But that right there, I think learning resistances is obviously like the key point of wizards. So that way you know what you're casting at somebody and understanding if it affects them or not. That to me, in my brain, especially the way I think, is just like I have like undiagnosed autism. So for sure, I'm just like,
Mhm.
oh, do the thing, and it doesn't happen. I'm like, oh no, and I
Oh
get sad.
no.
But ball wizard, I'm just like, it's like it doesn't matter. Just throw them. It doesn't matter who it hits. Just
Yeah,
go.
perfect. Okay. Could you share with us a fun story of a time you were playing Ball Wizard, like a crazy story, something that happened?
I mean, I shared the one about hitting somebody with the entangle as soon as they spawned and it was a healer. That one was pretty good. There was a Winter's Edge event long ago and it was super cold outside. And I
Mhm.
left my spell balls in my car and
Oh.
they weren't like super tough. So I was like walking down to the field and I was like, maybe I should squeeze these a little bit to kind of,
Mhm.
make them undense. And the first ball I throw hits a dude square in the you know what. And he's just like, and he falls over. And I walk over and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I tried to make him not frozen. He's like, it's funny because it was an ice ball. And he's laughing as he's laying on the ground. And I'm just like, okay, you you deserve this now.
Oh,
And,
that's terrible.
that was so funny, dude. And I was in tears that day just talking to that dude. Of course, we talked after. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry. But what you said to me sent me. I had to sit down because I was laughing so hard. I was like,
Oh,
"Oh
that's
my god, my
fantastic.
asthma!" And just like, you know, but yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay.
yeah.
Well, don't go away because we'll be right back with Chopz after a short word from our sponsor. Hello again and welcome to the ad. Today's video is sponsored by me, Paragon Wizard Kalahan Ridgeborn, the proprietor of the Almost Battlemaster Kalahan YouTube channel, and I'm here today to talk to you because I need your help. When I started this YouTube channel, my goal was to try to get as many Paragons as possible to come in and reveal to us all their secrets so that we can steal their tech and know how to do battle gaming better together. And through my time running the channel, I have started to run out of Paragons that I know and I've been able to get in touch with. So this is where you come in. I've created the Paragon interview recommendation form. There's a spot here to tell me if you're a Paragon interested in coming on the show, and if you're not a Paragon yet, then there's a spot to tell me about local paragons in your area that you'd like to see on the show. The link to the form is going to be down in the description, and if you click on it, it's going to look just like this, and you're going to be able to go in and recommend paragons that you think should be on the show. And once they're in there, I will look into contacting them and seeing if they're willing to come on and talk to me. So please recommend people that you know that would be great guests. Thank you, and let's get you back to the main video. Welcome back to the show. I want to talk about the archetypes. There are 4 archetypes inside a wizard. You got Generalist, Battle Mage, Evoker, and Warlock. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's knock out Warlock.
All right, let's take care of Warlock.
So Warlock, from different videos that I've seen, Warlock is the most underutilized, right? It's death and fire or flame. So it's like you only get a certain amount of spells. You only get a certain amount of the death spells. Everybody and their grandmother is either playing paladin or anti-paladin. So you got to pick your poison, right? So especially for the new martial classes, like I feel like AP and P have just shot through the roof of how many people that want to play it, right?
It's crazy how many people are doing it.
It is insane. And it's like, I can't do anything to that guy. I can't chatter him or still alive. I can chatter him, but I can't still alive. So me killing him makes no difference, right? Especially if I'm running like my generalist spell list. But I feel like Warlock is like bottom tier, like F, like gross. Nobody wants to do it. Speaking of that, I made a spell list, and I plan on using it at one of the next Winter's Edges events to try to prove a point and be like, it's not underutilized. You just aren't picking your targets correctly. Warrior, boom, goodbye everything. Like, you know?
Oh, for sure. Like, there's this thing. So I was on the Warlock is bad and unplayable garbage for a really long time, and I have come around to liking Warlock. Like, so Warlock at local park is either way too good or absolutely awful, depending on what's on your field.
Yeah, for sure.
If you walk out onto a field with 8 fingers of death and no paladin, you're just like, all right, I have won this game.
You've got pistols, and you're bang bang gone. Like, we win. Sorry.
But hear me out. On a kingdom field, if you're in a 50-50 battle game, right? Like, so I did this at Battle Cry, which was an event we had a little bit ago, and it was in the woods, and I'm not sure if it worked because the games were smaller or if because it just worked. But I brought a list out because it doubles your spells. And so I went in, I had 20 Ravages per life, 20 Destroy Armors per refresh, and 20 Heat Weapons per life. And so it was every weapon was Heat Weapon. And so I didn't have to select a target. It just, who's next? Heat weapon, heat weapon, heat weapon, heat weapon. And so, like, and it created this, like, feast of heat weapon and ravage that was just so much of it. It was kind of fun. Like, and there was only 3 times that I was like, dang, I wish I wasn't playing Warlock. And the first one I needed a dispel. The second one, there was an in-sub player and no one else was around that had anything for in-sub. I'm like, okay, guys, come on.
Where's my guy?
Yeah, and then the third one was another in-sub player. And so it's like, okay, yes, those scenarios specifically sucked, but the rest of the time, Warlock was just kind of fun. Like I didn't play it optimally. I wasn't trying to play it optimally. My goal for that game was to try to destroy every hit point of armor on somebody. I did not succeed. I got 3 out of 5 destroy armors off on somebody, but every time I tried to do it, they either died or ran away like a coward. I'm like, stand still and let me destroy all your armor. Like,
right.
And I practiced it.
It's crazy, man. Like, the spell list I have is a generalization of just like all the spells that I could possibly take from death and flame. So it's just like, I've got a lot in there. I don't think I took hardly any of the woundings or anything like that. It's mostly like heat weapons, pyrotechnics, all the things that matter. Like, pyrotechnics is crazy. Like, kaboom, goodbye everything. It is a really good spell. And, oh, dude, I can't wait to use it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm going to use it at the next Winter's Edge event, and I might not be a hater. It might not be an F tier. It might be like maybe a low C-. Like, you know.
That's the vibe I get for Warlock. Like, it's a sleeper C.
Mm-hmm.
It's a situational B. If you're in a spot where...
For sure.
Like, and this is the thing that, like, got me. I was talking to Sol Galileo from Neverwinter, and specifically about Battery Bard. And when I was talking with him about Battery Bard, he explained to me that when he like the way he builds his lists, he takes the spell that gives you back a per life or maybe a recharge. I have to look it up. I'll look it up really
I
fast.
can't remember that. I don't know the bard list at all, so that's like
Because
whoosh.
it's the one that's worth 2 points, and then he doubles it, and then confidence. No, not confidence.
Confidence. Yeah.
Empower. Empower is the one I'm thinking of. So
Mm-hmm.
empower, you gain any one use of one per life ability. But when he plays, he also is taking I want to say it's dervish. Yeah, dervish. So
Mm-hmm.
every time he gives back someone's per life ability, it costs 1/4 of a spell point to give them back a per
Mm,
life ability.
yeah.
Building off of that idea of like, okay, if I buy a ravage, it's not 2 ravages per point, it's 4, so it's 1/4 of a spell point to buy a ravage with Warlock. And it's like, okay, that's an insane spell modifier, because if I have 70 per lives,
Yeah.
this is
Now we're thinking
bananas good. Like,
math, baby, math. It's
I'm just,
crazy.
yeah, and so my goal was like, how many spells can I cram into one spell list? And so, if you're min-maxing for number of spells you can cast, yeah, Warlock feels kind of fun with
Mm-hmm.
that many spells. So it kind of works.
Yeah, it's fun until it's not, because you get in those one situations where it's just like, that guy's teleporting. Uh-oh. It's
Oh
just like, I don't
no.
have anything. Yeah, it's like,
And I've
there he
got
goes.
a short sword and
Yeah.
some gumption.
I am famous for not taking any weapons as wizard either. So like
Same.
I don't take a dagger, I don't take a short sword. I'm just out there, and I'm just like, if you want to kill me, you're gonna have to really try, because I'm behind people, and I hardly ever play frontline wizard. Like that's just gross. But like,
100%.
you won't catch me with a weapon in my hand, even if it's a free dagger, because it's just something in my hand that I just can't. What is it gonna do? Block something maybe, but
Yeah. I like it for a nice little arrow block. 1 second.
that feels nice for sure.
So I used to be like hard in the camp of don't bring any weapons, get good at verbals. And I still think that that's very valid to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I find a lot of people, if you have something in your hand, that's the only thing you can think of. And so if you take everything away and then you're just left with only the verbals, it gets you into a verbal first mindset, which is really valuable.
Yeah.
But since coming to the Rising Wind, I don't want to say rediscovered short sword because no one ever lost it, but like short
Right.
sword
Yeah.
is okay, but having an absurd number of daggers, like in my garage right now, I have like 14 daggers that are just in a box. And
Jeez.
so if you show up on a field and you're like, yes, here I am, and I have all my gear on, and then here are just 14 daggers. I don't buy men because I
Yep.
don't
No.
know. Just like, I've got my dagger here. Oh, and you shot and I blocked this arrow. Oh no, my dagger's broken. Oh,
Yep.
anyway, and then you keep going. And so, like,
That's so awesome. Like, holy crap.
I don't need to buy mend. I bought weapons.
Real
That's part of
people.
how I play martial classes too, because the thing that drives me nuts about
Yeah.
these martial players is like, martial players are the first to complain about imbalance between casters and martials. And I'm like, yes, there is an
100%.
imbalance here, because we get 30 points 31 points of magic, and you get 6 ability. One of them's an immunity, one of them is, usually not something phenomenal, but like, are you maximizing what you could be doing? If I'm playing barbarian, which is my like alt melee class, if I'm playing barbarian, I'm bringing 2 medium shields, 2 small shields, 2 pole arms, 6 short swords, and 14 daggers with me to the field.
Pulling a
So
wagon out. Just like, here it
I
is.
have a wagon, and I bring my wagon with
Yep.
me, and I pull out my 3 points of armor, and then I've got a flail that hangs over my shoulder, and I've got short
Mm-hmm.
swords on my belt, and I've got my shield, and I've got my spare shield, and then I've got small shields that are like, they're not min smalls, but they're really close, and
Yeah.
they're shaped like giant blocks of wood, and I've got one of those on my belt. And so I've got, if I'm playing with my full like kit, I've got 3 short swords, a medium shield, and a small shield, and a flail, all attached to my body.
Yeah. And I feel
And
that a lot of the
the
martial classes don't do that, because, like,
right,
they're going to go out there and their weapon's going to get destroyed or heated or whatever. And it's just
yep,
like, well, nobody's going to fix it. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm going to complain. It's like, you could definitely
bring
just
an
like,
extra.
yeah,
Like, it's not that insane of a concept.
right.
Like, hey, you know what negates a heat weapon? An extra weapon.
And dude, like the frog tags that people have, like you can have
Yeah.
as many weapons on your side as you want, as long as it's not like egregious. But like having 2 extra short swords, I'm going to talk about them a lot, but Subway, whenever he plays, he'll play a paladin with a pole and armor, and he has 2 short swords hanging from ties that are on his hands. So if his pole gets heated, whoosh, he's got
he's already
two
locked
short
in.
swords. And you're already dead, because if you heat it, he's just going to come in and just wallop you and play you like a drum set, right? So it's just like, I have to watch out for him specifically, because I know if I do something to him, he's just going to drop his pole, and then I'm going to have to deal with 2 sticks now. Be like, well, I can't do anything about those. I've already cast a spell. Now I have to think about what I'm going to do next, and then I'm already dead, right? So, like, extra equipment on the build, field, absolutely bring it. Especially for us, because we see it and we're like, I'm going to keep doing things to you because you have all the stuff on you. And it's like, it helps me learn everything. And it's just like, it's amazing to see somebody bring out so much equipment, for sure.
If you've got a singular polearm and nothing to back it up,
it's on you, dog.
Like, I'm going to heat the polearm.
And it's like, oh, my polearm. Ooh.
Oh,
it's like,
no.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, you could have had 2 short swords on yourself. You could have had a flail. You could,
right?
Dude, like, people with
there's
flails,
so much you can do. Hey, you know what's crazy? Have another polearm just nearby. Why not?
Yeah, make a design where you can have it on your back running around, dude. Like, come on, this is like Halo. You got a secondary.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, everybody knows it's faster to switch to your secondary than to reload your primary. Like,
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I played Call of Duty before. Duh. Like, come on.
Everybody knows this.
All the things. Yeah, come on.
It's always faster to switch to the secondary.
It could be a whole. It could be a whole class.
Yeah, you could, like. How many daggers do you bring if you're playing a cast? All of them. Why wouldn't I? I've got a spellball carrier that I really like, and I can fit 3 daggers in the spellball carrier, and it actually makes the spellball carrier work better because it's not floppy anymore. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Why wouldn't I?
I've seen quite a few saddlebags that people are using. One of our players in Winter's Edge, his name's Galley. He has 2 saddlebags that he wears on himself. So he has like all of his CC in one and all of his non-CC in another. So he knows what he's grabbing for. All he has to do is kind of just like glance down, like peripheral vision. I'm going to buy some because those things are awesome and they fit fat guys. So I'm like, yes. I was like, 200.
Send me a link to this.
Oh yeah, I for sure will. Because I saw him. I'm like, that's my next purchase.
There you go. Yeah. Well, and like the thing for me, I've got big hands, right? I can hold 12-ish spell balls in one hand. So I usually have a single spell ball carrier pouch on the side that's just carried backups for the primary spell balls. Because if I lose one, like, oh, bonk, it bonks off that shield, it flies way over there. I'm not going to go get it. I'm just going to grab another fireball.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're going to go.
I tend to keep a bag on myself. Like, I'll wear my bag, but I'll hoop up, like, in my fingers, I'll have my ice balls and an entangle just to have outright. So I have, like, maybe 5. So I know I can look down and kind of utilize my bag, but, like, I'm playing mid-range. So I know I can kind of look down and be like, okay, do this to that guy. Badoosh, done. And it's just like, especially as EB. So,
well, that's enough about Warlock. Do you want to talk about Evoker or
Evoker? So I've never touched Evoker, to be perfectly honest.
You play Elemental Barrage as a main, but you don't.
Sorry, my bad. I'm thinking of something different, dude. My brain.
You've never played Battle Mage, is what I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, Battle Mage. Yeah, Battle Mage. That's the run around and do stuff. Like, I'm lazy. I'm fat. No, sorry, but if we're going to speak on it, it is probably one of the best wizard archetypes, just because
for sure.
Your utilization on the field, dude, like, you're running around, you've got ambulance, like, boom, 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 boom. You're making people just think about what they're doing. And if you're a fast, quick guy on your feet, like, then you're doing way more work than I could ever possibly do as a EB wizard, right? Like, especially, like, just being out there and making people watch you takes their eyes off me. And there are other wizard who's also doing verbals. Like, non-archetype wizards are also really good. Like, I feel like people don't play enough non-archetype wizards, especially since they came out. That's what I did with my generalist spell list, but we'll talk about that. But I feel that Evoker is just one of those that you can just pick up and play, right? Like, you could say, you have to say one thing, and it's I'm filled with the power of magic. And then the world is yours to control. And it's just like, you know what you can and cannot do. And that's where the learning, the resistances come into play. Like, you know who you can throw these spell balls at. Obviously, the black spell ball can be thrown at anybody, right? Phase bolts are great for monks. Like, phase bolts, oh my lord. Phase bolts are goated. Like, they are so good. And nobody uses them.
They hit druids so hard.
Yeah. And like monks, it's just like kapow, and they're like, oh no. It's like, yes.
And they don't ever have a backup weapon.
Nope. Not that I've seen.
It's because of
from
Sanctuary.
Chopz. Listen, we had like, let's see. So the Sons of Terra out from the Carolinas came to the Winter's Edge event. I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about it a lot because it just happened. But there's
Sounds
probably about
great.
7 or 8 monks out on the field. And
Oof.
like, I remember hitting, let's see here. I can't remember his name, but I'd hit him with a phase bolt and it hit his arm, like his forearm. And he's like, Monk? And I was like, it hit your arm, so it's your arm. He's like, got you. And they're also cross gamers, so they play Beldag. So they're still kind
Okay.
of learning the rules. So it's just like, after seeing that many monks and they're learning now, it's like, I'm kind of in trouble.
You're
So it's
in
like, okay,
danger.
heat weapon is like that's where the new Warlock spell list is coming into play because we had so many of those. It's just like I'm just gonna go out there with my 20 heat weapons, and you guys aren't gonna do nothing to us. If they don't bring extra equipment, I'm sorry, dude. Like you're done for.
Yeah. I
But yeah,
gotcha.
Evoker is hands down my favorite, obviously, especially in terms of just like playing games. I don't bring like a stupid amount of spell balls out there, right? I bring what I can use and then utilize what I got, pick up what I can, and that's it. Like that's what's fun to me, and it also is exercise for me too. So especially trying to chase somebody down as an EB wizard. If you're chasing somebody down, you're doing your job wrong, first of all. But also, like you need to be behind your shields and your players that can block, like be behind your monks that can block stuff. That way, you can do your job to try to attack down the enemy team. So Evoker is goated too. So, but yeah.
Makes good sense. I've got a controversial question for you.
Oh boy.
Bolts. How do you feel about them?
Okay. Terrible up until this last event because Galley is also an EB wizard and he wants me to take him as an apprentice. And like I said, didn't touch the rule book up until about 5 years ago. So I didn't know apprentices were a thing. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like he could have a belt favor that's yellow trimmed in silver. I was like, that kind of makes sense. And so I've like designed a whole thing, and he won't know this till Christmas, but he'll already know. But I'm gonna take him as an apprentice, and I've already got a belt design and everything. And it's just like he wants to be another EB wizard, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing as EB wizard, right? And he's like, oh, I got these force bolts, and I just stare at him, and I'm just like, buddy, what are we doing? It's so good for killing people. I was like, who are you gonna kill? Look at that team, guy. Look at that team. You see shields? You see armor? Okay, we're not
What is
taking
your
force
plan
bolts.
here? Like how?
Yeah,
Like
are you just gonna throw them, dog? Like, okay, they're gonna mend it. They're gonna have somebody in their back pocket to mend it. They're gonna,
yeah.
do whatever they can to get their armor points back or get their weapons back. I think that force bolt is terrible in terms of wizard because there's so much more you can utilize with wizard. But monk using force bolt is silly, and I think that is the funniest thing I've seen thus far is monks throwing force
Oh.
bolts because I got killed by several at our event, and I'm just like, force bolts are dumb. So I like and hate force bolts. I'm kind of like 60-40. I like them most of the time, but the rest of the time, I like them for monks. That's where the extra
See, and
10% comes in.
that's the weird. Like I just yesterday. I mean, we're out of order because of scheduling problems, but yesterday I recorded a video with a Paragon monk, and we talked about the force bolt problem, and I brought him all the way around to force bolts are terrible and no one should ever use them. And my thing with the monks using the force bolts is they gave up heavy thrown, and you'd have been just as dead if they'd have thrown a heavy thrown, but they could carry any number of heavy thrown instead of only 4 force bolts. And so like there is no scenario that I can find that justifies force bolt over heavy thrown. Because
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like cost equipment, right? So like you have to buy materials for javelins or heavy thrones, period, right?
you got to
Spellballs
buy
can be
force
purchased.
bolt.
Yeah, you just get force bolts. Like they're cheap, they're easy to make. You put the blue on them, and then you're done. And heavy thrones take a lot more material, so I could see why somebody would want to
Dude, I mean,
utilize
get
that.
yourself a pool noodle and a pair of scissors. You cut the pool noodle in 10-inch strips.
Yeah,
You shove some pants in the pool noodle. You wrap it with cloth tape. You yeet it at somebody. Whose part is it?
yeah. Right. I just think it's funny because I got killed by probably 3 different force bolts from a monk, and it made me mad. So it moved the percentage over by 10% because I died to it so much.
Oh, that's
That's
funny.
what, dude. It had me cracking up, dude. I was losing my mind. I was like, I keep getting killed by force bolts, and they suck. They're sitting there
Oh,
laughing at me. Oh man, it's so funny.
I'm terrified that eventually I'll be enough of a celebrity that there's going to be people hunting me with force bolts and they're going to try to prove that it's worth it. I'm like, guys, this isn't worth it.
Yeah,
They're not going
that's
to
why I
listen.
said the 60-40, because I don't want people to hurt me because it's already happened enough. I don't want that percentage to move
Oh.
any more than it already has.
I had a guy named Nameless on the show a while back. He did
Oh yeah, I know Nameless, Nameless Soul Weaver.
yeah, Nameless Soul Weave, stick
Yep.
dude. He came on the
Oh, love
show
him.
and we talked about how javelins are terrible and no one should ever use them. And at the next event, he comes up to me later in the event and he's like, everyone made javelins just to throw at me. And I'm like, dude, you can't. We
You
issued an
cannot get online
open
and say something.
we opened up a can of worms that were just there. And so like
Oh, I love it.
it's a thing at my park. Like at my local park, they got like they have two other wizards that show up every once in a while, and they're like
Mhm.
trying to prove that Force Bolt's good. I'm like, guys, Force Bolt isn't good. But
Yeah.
yeah. So Generalist though, Generalist is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, what's your Generalist build look like?
So generalists, and that's just kind of just hitting all the different spells, right? So just like
Yep.
take things that you know could eventually be an issue. Banish. Okay, easy, done. Take two of those. And just like take your Icy Blast, take your Still Life, take your Shatters. That's just like run of the mill meta, do the thing, right? If you want to get even more saucy, you could do the Entangles and Drag Below if you really want to, right? Kill stopped player. And then you could also take some woundings, right? I feel that woundings they have to be time effective, especially like during like big fights. Like if you wound somebody and then they instantly get hit, you've done your job, right? So like I feel that like if you take those, it's good. But I think like the best generalist is just like take your banishes so you can handle all the problems that you can think of, right? Your dispel magics, holy crap. Please take dispel magics.
So
If you don't know what you're going
important.
to put your points into, please, for the love of everything, put your points into dispel magic. Practice the spell incant. I can tell you how many times I've fixed problems by dispelling magic on the field. Like, holy
Yeah.
crap. And especially me too, you know? So it's just like, if I'm a problem, especially playing because I'm playing Druid a little bit more now, and getting dispelled as Druid, it sucks. It's like, oh, I lost my Lycan. Oh, I lost this. I lost my Pro. Because I'm just like out there and I've been playing Ranger Druid. So like I'll get Lycan from somebody else and I'll give it to someone else, even though mine costs more, but I don't care. And then I get dispelled and I'm like, well, I'm useless. Flip, 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 flip. Oh, I got hit by an arrow. I'm dead. And it's just like, but the general spell, take everything that you feel like is going to be a problem, right?
Yeah, dispel magic is such an important spell to use and to have like something that comes up every once in a while. Like if I'm talking to a player and they're wanting to be a good wizard, I'm like, how good are you at using dispel magic? Because that's one of the metrics you can use. Like, if you're dispelling a person, it's not really that effective. You need to be dispelling like 5+ people a game for you to really get the value that I'm looking for out of dispel. And like,
Absolutely.
especially now in the current meta where we have paladins with per life imbued shield, like
Get rid of that right now. Like, boom, dispel magic that. And then it's
yeah,
just like,
just
oh my
see
God, the world,
paladin,
the
dispel
whole,
paladin.
correct. Oh, shoot. And it's just like, I feel that, like, especially with how many there is, dude, like, there's not enough dispel magics on the field, like, ever. So, like, if I'm running my generalist list, it's just kind of like, I'm going to take at least two, right?
Yeah,
And try to recharge them when I can, if I can. And just, like, understand that, like, we've got to handle the issues or we are going to lose. And if it's me handling the issues, I don't care, but somebody else has to take it. So my recommendation for anybody that's trying to run for Paragon in any format of Wizard, no dispel magic for sure. Like that's just a
yeah.
given, right?
Well, and you can create a no enchantment zone around you. Like if you start like trying to dispel someone, they're gonna go somewhere else. Like as soon as you start with my power dispels, they're nope, we're out, we're gone. We're not gonna,
Yeah.
because good players protect their enchantments, and so you can just say, hey, on this side of the field, no enchanted players. Only my team can be enchanted, and you can give your team a huge boost that way. It's
Yeah,
the
for
hidden
sure.
support tech inside a wizard. When you're like rolling up to a line, what's your go-to spell ball? What are you opening with?
I want to say that Sphere is probably the number one thing I try to open with because armor's in the front, shields are in the front. Just toss it, just throw it in there, eliminate whatever it touches, right?
Yeah.
So I feel that like that's the best opener. And then once the armor's gone or the shields are gone or whatever, then you could really start using your ice balls, your entangles, your phase bolts for people that are Florentine, and just try to hit things. Like ice balls, just toss them, right?
Yeah,
Like there's no
might
really
as well.
relevance. Entangles, toss them. Spear of Annihilation is like your sniper bullet. Like that is your silver bullet to hit that one problem person, and they're just gone. So like it does everything, and it's just like, and they just disappear. It's like a speck. Goodbye.
It's your
And
50
I
cal.
feel that. Oh yeah, for sure. Like I'm just like, he doesn't know I know this trick. I have a gun. It's just like I toss it. It's just like, especially like at local level, if I'm playing, whenever I play my generalist, I usually take spear, and I know that my friends are going to wear armor because I have to practice in it, but they're going to be practicing walking back to base from me. So you're going to get used to that armor real fast, but spear, and they're like, oh, and then they have to
Yeah.
walk back. So that's my go-to, like instant, like I have that thing in my hand. 90% of the pictures you'll see me online, if it's the start of a game, I've got a black ball in my hand. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's the best. It's the best spell ball for sure.
What is Wizard weak to as a class?
Ooh, everything range. So archers, like, can't say it enough, dude. There's so many times where I wish I had an instance of pro, and it's just like I don't. And then I get that one thwip, and that's all it takes for me. Like, I'm gonna be useless this game. And we have an influx in a lot of archery people, like whether it be druid or archer or scout. There's so many scouts in Winter's Edge right now. I feel like we had at least 3 different scouts. We had 4 different archers. I was running bow druid, and it's just like range is your number one killer. And if you're getting shot by arrows, or even by, I hate to say it, force bolt, then you're probably doing your job right, because that means you're in the back line or you're in between people. If they're lacing you between people, then that archer's a problem. Then you need to send an assassin or somebody to tack that guy down. If you're playing a generalist, teleport one of your boys over there to handle that side of the field so you're not getting shot anymore. For me, it's the range. I'm a bigger dude. I'm pretty wide, so like you're gonna hit me if you whip an arrow within 30 miles of me, right? So it's just like I feel that like whenever projectiles come into play, I can become useless really quick. As far as like people running up on me like assassins and stuff like that, as a wizard, like I said at the beginning, you have to be looking everywhere, right? Because whenever I'm playing a generalist, I'm looking out for the problems and thinking about that assassin's going to teleport behind us. I'm instantly going to banish that guy as soon as he gets close to me. And it's just like, if I don't, he's going to kill half our team, especially our people without armor, because all he has to do is drum roll on everything. And it's just like, at that point, your job's null and void. You've already lost the game. And what do you do now? You pick it back up, you make a new spell list, but you have to come in think, I have to know what I'm dealing with. And looking at sashes before games, I don't necessarily call it cheating, but understanding what to look for. You see 2 assassins, they're on the right side of the field right before the game starts. Be like, I'm keeping my eye out over there. And whenever I played Wizard, I actually got my 8th battle for a game that we played called Fjord's Triangle at a Winter's Edge event. And I was in a general position. So like half the team was mine and half the team was another dude's. And it's just like I was calling out people, being like, left side, right side, down the middle, handle that archer, kill that dude in armor. I don't care. Throw spell balls, throw whatever. And it's just like, of course, I'm making like legitimate calls, right? So like I got my 8th battle for that. And I'm super proud of that, especially playing Wizard at that event, because my scope range was a lot wider than everybody else's. So it's just like, and it's kind of the same feel with Druid that I'm doing now. And it feels good to be able to have a bow and being like, I know problems, because I like to, whenever I play Amtgard period, I like to see the problems before they even try to touch me, right? Like, I want to be able to know where they're at all times. And like assassins, one of the most underrated classes of our game. If they get behind your team, you are absolutely just destroyed. There's nothing you can really do about them unless your team sees them, right? But half the time, a good assassin's not going to be seen, so...
Or won't be seen by a relevant player. Because what is the barbarian going to do about the assassin that's blanking? They're going to yell about it and then keep fighting. What are your choices at that point, you know?
Like, we're going to turn and be like, oh, he's already out of his, ability, and what do we do now? Oh, he stepped into shadows. Oh, okay, nobody has a banish. This is why generalists need to take Vanish and dispel magic. Like Vanish is
Yep.
so good. Like, why are we not
Or,
utilizing it? But
grab that dimensional rift and just send the big
yeah,
message.
because send them home with a good check mark on their back. But like, I just feel like in terms of wizard, like projectiles are my number one enemy, especially from like enemy archers. Like they're always looking out for me because they know that I could be a problem if I'm like up in the stuff. But if I'm walking around doing verbals and stuff, then I'm a target, and then my job is null and void by that point. So
Yeah.
gotta keep attack on. Take the pros. If somebody's handing out pros as a wizard, that's yours, right? Like, give me that right now. Gift of air. Oh,
Gift
wonderful.
of
Give me
air.
that gift of air. Gift of air
It's
is so
so
good. It's
good.
like, oh, I died. Woo, woo. Here I am. I'm back again. And it's just like, it's so annoying. And it's just like, that's what you have to keep your eye out for, because those are the main things I feel that I die to the most.
You ever got stun locked with Gift of Air?
No, I've never had that instance happen.
So I had Gift of Air at one point, and there were, I want to say there were 3 archers that were shooting at me, and I'd get hit with an arrow, and I'd yell Gift of Air, or Return to the Physical World, or Return to the Physical World, and I'd start casting, and then it hit me with another arrow. And they staggered themselves in such a way that they just kept hitting me every time I came out. And then I'm like, all right, the next time I'm just going to go back to base. And then I went back to the base, and then I moved over to the other side, and then one of them followed me to try to do it again. And I'm like, no. Go get that guy, assassin. It was, they hit me like 7 spells in a row. They're just countering me by yes, they're not killing me, but they're also just, stop it. Gift of Air. And they're like, yes, we know you have Gift of Air.
No, you can't
But I
play
have
games.
so
I'm
many
sorry,
arrows.
like,
I'm like, oh, fine,
yeah,
okay.
you're just like, they'll eventually run out.
What am I gonna do here? I can't eat all of these arrows.
Right. Yeah.
It was kind of nuts, but it was cool. They had a
Right.
great strategy that worked for shutting down a player, and that was necessary.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Like, wizards are a problem, and we know we're a problem. That's why I opened up with hate. We are the thing you should worry about. We are the boogeyman. We're like John Wick sometimes, but I wish I was that cool. But
we don't get body armor. We're just out here just
yeah, I wish I could hold up my coat arm and just like ding 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 ding. And it's just like, haha, you can't kill me. Don't ever give wizard shields. Like, please. Like, we don't need that. Like, we're already too powerful.
Give me a small shield. Give me the solution to the biggest problem I have as a player.
We have a small shield. It's called a magic staff.
Hey, magic staffs are cool.
Magic staffs. I hate them. I do not like magic staffs.
You don't like magic staffs?
They're really cool to look. I don't like them. No,
they're so cool, man. You gotta get a magic staff.
Okay, I'll let you prove me. I'll have to come up to Rising Winds sometime. And let you prove me wrong. How cool magic staffs are.
Come to Rising Winds. Come to Bridgeward.
Oh, I wish I could, man. Oh, I would love to come, but not in the cards this year. Next year, for sure.
I'll hold you to it. As a wizard, what classes do you love having on your team so you can team up with them?
Oh man, like, I know that I kind of talk smack about Bard. Bard's really good to have on your team as a wizard. Any spell list, have one with you. Having any kind of martial class with a shield, stay behind your shield. AP, Paladin, whatever it may be, because they're going to have their immunities. They're going to be doing stuff. Flame Blade, wonderful. Let them kill people, and you're just the dude in the back that's just being like, hey, you, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, well, my Paladin just killed you. See you. We're walking past your team now to capture the point. And it's just like seeing a Bard. I want to say, okay, so if we're doing like a class of, let's say 7. So
all right, we got 7.
Let's say 7. So you have your Bard, you as a wizard, right? So that's 2.
Yep, that's 2.
Then you have a Paladin, anti-Paladin, a bow of some sort, some projectile, whether it be archer, druid, or assassin, or scout. I think scout would probably be my first to go to, because they have tracking, which is good if you're not playing your generalist list as a wizard.
Yeah.
Like, holy moly, please track that man. So scout, and then an assassin or a barbarian, either 2 of each or 1 of each. It doesn't really matter to me, especially for your assassin, because as a wizard, you should be able to talk to your assassin if you two are like respawning together, or you're starting the game and you're like, assassin, I see a problem. I'm the wizard. You need to listen to me because I'm smart and intelligent. My intelligence stat is 25. You need to listen to me. So, like, I have a +7 to my stat. That guy's a problem. You need to teleport behind their team. You could try to handle the problem, or just keep them off of our team enough to do the objective /game itself. So that right there is my dream team. If I could have that as 7, and if they had like 2 people on the sideline, I'm winning. Like whatever
Yeah.
wizard list I bring out, like we're taking the W for sure.
Well, and wizards and assassins are just like they complement each other so well. Because a wizard you can cast wounding, assassin casts coup de grace, assassin casts on a
Oh yeah.
person, I cast drag below. You know,
Mm-hmm. They meld
you
really good together. That's why I would
yeah.
probably take 2 assassins over 2 barbarians, or a barbarian and assassin. That way you can use your woundings if you are that kind of wizard. Or,
Ooh, I feel called
the
out.
assassins handling. Oh, yeah. And then also just like being able to find those problems and telling your assassin not necessarily what to do, be like, this would be good for our team. You need to go handle
Hmm.
that. And even if you have 2 of them, then they can split and kind of just do the flanking bit over and over and over. And it's just like it becomes egregious, and people start to get like, we need to wash our backs. And then you have your armor in front of the wizard that's being like, heat weapon, throw this, goodbye monk. And it's just like,
Yep.
it's just so nice to have that team utilization and meld together, right? So I think
For
that
sure.
that's my MVP team. If I could pick out those people, and if I could pick out the people that play those classes, dude, I'm winning that game. There's nothing that can stop us, unless it's oops all barbarians and they're just swinging stick, or whatever, right?
How do you build your spell ball?
So the spell balls that I currently have are loners, but we use gamma balls. So we do
Mm,
gamma ball, and I don't usually put anything on because I like mine a little lighter because I'm not trying to throw it across the field, right? So like
yeah.
gamma ball, cover whatever color it needs, and then boom, spell ball. Whenever I first started the game back in my day, we used rubber bands because rubber bands were huge, but then they become like brittle and they break, and then like
Mm,
people getting slapped by them, by the rubber itself on side of the cloth will still slap people. And we were bad for like keeping them in the plastic bag with just a cloth around it, so then they're slappy. If somebody steps on them, they're destroyed. It rips the cloth, it destroys the
mm,
rubber band. And then we moved to like, it's like the Nerf play balls. They're kind of they're really squishy, but we
mm,
would borrow those out and then put rubber bands inside of those. So
mm,
then it moved up to bigger spell balls. That way you could throw it and hope that you hit somebody because it's huge. And it's just like, but now they have a standardization. It's just like, I guess spell balls can be as big as you want them to be up to a point, but it's just
yeah.
like gamma ball, cover, throw it on there, put it in a spell bag, go. Right. So like whenever because we made a bunch of spell balls for, I say we, two of our park mates made spell balls for the entire park. So
Mhm.
like they have like a whole rainbow spell bag just filled with all of it, right? And it's
Oh,
just
cool.
like I picked out my litter and I was like, I'm gonna use these, and you're probably never gonna see them again. I should probably give them back, but at this point they've been in my bag for over two years, so it's just like, hey, these are close friends, right? So like I've known them for
Yeah.
years, and it's just like that is the general of making spell balls, right? Like I've learned from the past. I call it the attitude era or old guard, however you want to call it. It's just like we've moved on from like hurting our friends, from all that stuff, man. Like the mentality back then was just like, I'm making stuff to hurt people. It's like, no, don't want to do that anymore because I actually like people now, some people. And it's just like it feels so good to see Amtgard move on from that, from making stuff that's just
For sure.
absolutely dangerous. And I mean, rubber bands in a cloth isn't that dangerous, but it can be, right? Like, especially if you just rear back and you really just shotgun it out there, it's gonna hit somebody in the face and it's gonna hurt.
Mhm.
Gamma balls is just like boink, and it's just like, oh no, it touched my glasses, like lightest touch.
I gotcha. Are there any common misconceptions about Wizard that you'd like to dispel?
Honestly, no, we should catch all the flack. Period. Like we are hate. Um, I think the common misconception is that if you have a lot of wizards on your team
Mhm.
and you all have metagamed and you're like, okay, you're doing this, I'm doing this, you're doing this, and we just tack it down. Yes, we can die, but it's gonna be hard to get through to us. At the last Winter's Edge event, we
Yeah.
did like a team. It's the Kingmakers. It's St. Godric's fighting. I say St. Godric's. It's a fighting company, and we all were like, I really don't know what I want to play. And I was like, oops, all wizards. And everybody kind of like turned their head. And it was like, we had 5 wizards and 2 druids. And it's just like, we were
Oh
just
man.
pointing at people, throwing balls. I was throwing mine because I was or I was my generalist list that day.
Mhm.
So I was just kind of throwing my spell balls, heating weapons, doing what I could. And it's just like, the common misconception to me is that people are scared to learn Wizard. I think that's the number one thing. It's like you shouldn't be scared to learn the game. After playing it for 20 years and then recently within 5 years picking up the rulebook and finally learning, like, man, my game's actually kind of fun for battle gaming. Like back then I was just like, I want to swing stick and just just be silly. And it's like now I'm like, I want to be competitive, especially at kingdom events, any kingdom event, right? Bridge Wars, Keep, whatever it may be. Whenever I went to my first Bridge Wars, which was I want to say about 3 or 4 years ago, I went up there and I played in a few of the games, but I didn't get to play in the actual Bridge War because I'd just gotten into a fighting company. And so I was doing like the peasant stuff where we're like building things with spaghetti and solving riddles and just like, that's not what I want to do. Like, I want to be out there throwing spell balls and mending my friends or heating weapons. Like that right there is just like, oh, it's so good. Like I said, I think the biggest thing is like, don't be scared to play Wizard because a lot of people don't want to look at all the spells and understand them and all the incants and all this stuff, which is any magic class, right? But especially Wizard because they are just abroad for everything because they have a lot in that spell book that they could just use. So that's what I think anyway.
Makes sense. Okay. When you build your spell lists, are you building those top to bottom or bottom top? How are you doing it? How do you build spell lists?
I go from 6 down. So like I pick my big ones, right? And then I go down. Just because to me it helps better in my brain be like, okay, I don't have any more 6 levels. So we'll take this, this, and this, and this. And then we'll move down. Just because I know my first few first level spell slots, I know what I'm gonna take. Just like general stuff like heat weapons, definitely gonna take those. And then we move up and it's like, okay, Icy Blast, stuff like that. As we move up in increments, I always go from 6 down, just because to me it's easier in my brain to learn the stuff at the higher echelon than it is the lower stuff. That's just how I normally build mine for sure.
How does Wizard play differently at your local park versus at your kingdom level?
So kingdom level, I definitely try to go all out. Like if we're looking to win the game, I'm gonna try to play my EB Wizard. If we're looking to have fun, then it's like I'm gonna try to run my Warlock Wizard at kingdom level. Obviously, it's gonna be different, right? So for local park, our local park really doesn't have that very many new people. Like we probably have 6 to 7, maybe 10 newbies out there. I say newbies, that's a terrible term to use. New players. And they don't understand the rule book and they don't know what I'm throwing at them. As a good wizard, you're going to tell those people what the spell does. So you say name, incant, what it does to them. I never ever try to use spells on new people just because it scares them, because it's like, I'm not letting you play the game anymore. Sorry. Like, I want them to swing stick. I want them to stab that guy that's been playing this game for 30 something years, because that is just like, oh, breath of fresh air, because that guy got stabbed and he's a warlord for 30 years. And it's just like, yeah. And the spell list itself, I feel you need to tone it down, because you're not trying to go all out at local level, especially with somebody with 8 or 9 battles, or even a battle master. Like battle master, we have a battle master, his name's Teflon Frosthammer, and he comes out and he normally wears armor now, but whenever he was doing spellcast, he's like, you need to take this list, and he would scoot me over a list and be like, oh, this is just another generalist list of just like learning the incants. Like that is practice mode. Like we're in the practice range. Kingdom level, we are in a competitive aspect, whether it be a battle master or just playing a game. Battle master for sure. Battle master tournament for sure. Like that's whenever you lock in and you make your spell list to the best of your ability. To me, it's just like, it's super egregious to go to local level and be like, oh, I froze the entire team. Sorry guys, I'm a Paragon wizard.
It's not fun to freeze the entire team because no one's enjoying it.
At that point, I'm not even enjoying it. And that to me, it's just mean, but also just like, I want to see people play the game because I've been playing it for 20 years. I want to see other people do the same thing I'm doing right now, 10 years from now. Like they're gonna learn from it, obviously. So like, the kingdom level, all out. It's time to crack your knuckles and just get in there and just grind it out. Like, and Winter's Edge has picked up on that in the past few years, just because everybody wants to be seen, right? Everybody wants the next sword. Everybody wants this. Everybody wants to chase. And I don't know of a new player who doesn't want to chase, right? Like I haven't met a new player that's just like, I did the thing, I get my next thing. I was like, you might get your next thing. And it's just like, it sucks to say that to somebody at local level. It's like, you stepped in the shadows as an assassin. It's your first day. Holy crap. Like, you get
Good
your
work,
first
little
battle.
buddy. Good
It's just like,
job.
dude, it feels so good to just like see the new players coming in. And it's just like, I can finally pull up my lawn chair and sit down and be like, let the kids play. And it's just like sitting in a chair playing Candy Crush. Just like, hey, you want this thing? Hey, you want this thing? And it's just like, oh, it feels so nice to see them play the game. That to me it's so nice. And that's from kingdom level to local park practice, lock in at kingdom level. Like, it is what it is.
All right. Does Winter's Edge have a Paragon board?
They do. We have a circle of Paragon.
Okay, cool.
So usually after each event, one or two people will post back, hey guys, who do we need to keep our eye on? So we discuss anywhere from like Paragons themselves from all the different classes to walkers in the middle. So like we consider those. I consider a Paragon because you are the best at your thing, reaving. Like you're taking the time out of your entire event to reave a weapon master. Holy crap, dude. Like, did you even have fun? A lot of people do. So like Teflon, he is a walker in the middle. We have a few others in Winter's Edge, and it's just like we've discussed a bunch of people on the boards recently after the event. So it's just like this guy did really good as healer. He's been playing it for 3 months. This is his 4th time out there. What do we think? And it's like me, I'll voice my opinions because I try to interact with each person that I can that I know is been doing their job. But our circle of Paragons is super open and not gatekeepy. I haven't seen any type of gatekeepy thing happen on there. So it feels nice to actually openly discuss people and not be like, well, I think that guy's absolute crap. And it's just like, you don't ever see that. You see constructive criticism, like being like, I think this person needs to do A before they get to B. And it's just like, yes, we made it. We're done being keyboard cowboys on a Facebook group. Like, yay. Holy moly.
Fantastic. Okay, so what is something that a wizard player can do to stand out to the Paragon board?
I think that being heard, like if you see a player that you know has been playing Wizard, they've been going to Kingdom level events, they're starting to move up, right? Like they're starting to handle the problems. Like to me, that speaks volumes. It's just like you heated that guy's weapon right before he was about to stab me. And it was gone, like he was rearing back, and you heated it before it even got to me. That right there, throw a silver trim sash on it because you just saved this guy's life. And I heard so many comments at this last one is just like, this person could get there. And it's just like, I try to look out for the people that know what they're doing and they know the spell list. Unlike me, 5 years into the rule book and then it evolving into the newer stuff that we've recently got, it's just like my brain can't handle it, right? Like the tism's kicking in. I'm just like, oh, what to do with this? It's like a new puppy. I'm like, you're so cute. I want to squeeze you. And it's just like, I don't know how to feel about it. But whenever it comes to looking at people, I feel that all the eyes are on the people that are within the battle game. And the people that are playing those classes don't necessarily know they're there, but they are. Especially coming from somebody that's been on there because I got my Paragon Peasant first. So I got added to the board. I was like, hey guys, I'm silly. I wear a straw hat. And it's just like, oh, we're looking out for people that actually enjoy playing the classes that they're currently playing, especially like martial classes. You're out there in armor in 90-degree weather, dude, please take it off. Here's a silver trim sash for you. I try not to like just hand them out willy-nilly, right? Like I want to talk about the person for a while before we actually like put in the rec. But there's a lot of people that we have put in for recs for Paragons just because Winter's Edge is leveling up. Like we're moving up. Battle is relatively recently new, so it feels good for people to get awards for stuff that they thought they would never get awards for, and to see people move up. And it's just like, yes, we're starting to be more competitive now. So that to me, especially with Winter's Edge boards, is just like there's no just like shooting them down or chopping them or breaking their leg. But it feels really good for Winter's Edge to finally move in a positive direction after so many years, especially the Attitude Era and seeing how we grew up. It's finally time that the old people are old and now we're grown up and now we can take care of the kids, right? So
yeah. Okay. What advice would you give someone who's starting out as a wizard?
No, I'm just kidding. I would, advice to a new person playing wizard: start simple. Whenever it comes to me, I try to tell people keep your spell list simple, And then you can learn things as you go on. Like start out with your heat weapons. Heat weapon is the number one go-to, and shove. Like if you learn shove and heat weapon, you're already doing 50% of what the class wants to do. You're attacking down weapons and you're making people go away. And then you level up. Now you're freezing people. And now you're entangling people. And then now you're killing those people whilst in those things. It's like take it a level at a time. Don't try to take it all in at one point, because then your brain's just going to turn into mush, because you need to learn the things and execute them. Use your local part days for practice. And then at kingdom level, come out with your spell list, show it to a reeve, make sure it's approved, and then go out there and utilize it. And I don't want to necessarily say go pick on somebody, but find a few targets out on the field. Be like, I want to try to mess with that person, and that person, and utilize the different spells that you have in your list, especially for like shoves and heat weapons and just like your icy blast for sure. Like utilize those, and then you're already playing wizard at 75. Not super tough to pick up. If I was recommending a new person, I'd be like, pick up a spell bag, put some spell balls in it, take what you can, especially at first level. Like you can only take so many, learn them, and then level up. Take it as a progression. It's like Call of Duty. Once you hit 55, you can prestige, and then you can move on to the new archetype. And it's just like, there we go, dude. Like you're doing it. It's easy. But that's what I would recommend for sure.
I've got some silly questions. What is a fictional character that best represents how you play wizard?
Oh man. Dude, I really can't think of any wizard. Let's think in Dark Souls term. Like I'm a level 1 sorcerer from Dark Souls. that's
Oh no.
that's how I leveled up my wizard game. It's just like I learned the spells as I went on and leveled up. Like I
Yeah.
feel like putting everything into a game ideology, whether it be Dungeons and Dragons or a video game, that's what helped me the most. To be like, as a sorcerer level 1 in Dark Souls, you have, your one spell that pings. It's like, okay, that's my force bolts. And then you move on to the big ones. You start using like the poison mist. You could treat that as like heat weapon or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But I see myself as like a level 1 sorcerer up to the point where I'm using like crystal soul spears and just like Aussie blasting people from the back, and like the shotgun spell that they have in Dark Souls 3. It's just like that to me in my mind is how I want to play wizard. Pick out the problems, focus things down, and then just carry on, because you can only do so much with a limited spell list.
I gotcha. What's the coolest thing you've ever done as a wizard?
The coolest thing I've ever done as a wizard is I stopped it. No, I'm just kidding. The coolest thing I've ever done as a wizard, I think, was taking on my first apprentice. I took a player that's played a few years back, but now she's back into the game. I took Infina Clawthorn as my apprentice, my first apprentice, just because she came out to a local day, and we call it Beefy's Big Battle Game Day, where we do the first Sunday of the month. We encourage travelers to come from around the kingdom to Knoxville to play battle games. And we've been practicing the most recent one for Bridge Wars. We're doing the Bridge Wars setup that they have posted, which is like the 4-point like X that they have. We've been practicing that, and she came, and it's like I'd met her before then. Like I met her at the Battlemaster tournament, and then she came to a local level, and I was like, you know what? And we had talked in between those times. I was like, I'd love to take you as my first official betling from me, and also my wizard apprentice. And she was on board 110%, and I was like, yeah. And it felt so good to be able to be like, I finally have somebody I can focus on to move them up and shoot them into the stars, man. Like you are the MVP, and I'm gonna make something out of you. Like it's like Mulan, I'm gonna make a man out of you or whatever, But like, and it's just like it feels so good to be able to take somebody, teach them, and do the thing. Like that is probably the coolest thing I've done, is be able to get to the point where I am a teacher to somebody. And it feels amazing. Like I finally got rid of that. What's the term I'm looking for? I can't think of it right now, but it's just like I'm not that like average Amtgarder anymore, right? Masterhood Road, high levels of battle, pretty distinguishable at Winter's Edge events, just because everybody knows me for the silly shenanigan dude from way back in the day, but also just like a genuine person to walk up to. It feels super cool to be able to take somebody as an apprentice, and learning about it recently just like helps solidify that fact.
Yeah. Okay. If you could invent a new spell for the wizard class, we're gonna ignore balance. Like you just trying to come up with something cool. What would you add to the wizard spells?
Oh man. Let's see here. I really think that the flame school is super underutilized. So I feel like having another flame spell would be super cool. Like
Ooh.
or even like a like a fireball that does, I mean, per the average D&D nerd, throw a fireball in a room and it does a area. It's hard to do in Amtgard terms, but I feel that like area of effects or cone effects would be so cool in Amtgard if they could be done right. Like put up a hologram projector and you hold up a flashlight and it's that radius in the middle of the night and it's like I hit all these people with icy blast. Whoosh! It's like Kona cold. And it's like yay, and it's
Yeah.
silly and funny. I always try to like be the comedic relief, right? Like I want to do stuff that's funny. And I feel that like throwing a fireball in a pit of players, be like, oh, everybody within a 50-foot radius is dead. And it's just like, oh
Oh
no.
no.
Yeah, I think that that would be super funny. But also give wizard shields. Like that would also be super funny. Like even if it's a small shield, be like, I'm a wizard. Dink, I've got a little tiny punch shield. I'm gonna get you. And it's just like you don't have that free hand because it's not a wizard staff. So you're using one hand to be like casting at people or throwing balls, and it's just like
Yeah.
I think that that would be super funny to just see. So
Yeah, I got you. I had an idea for a caster shield that's fragile. So if anything hits it, it breaks.
yeah,
But
that to
you
me
can mend it.
is kind of balanced, right? So like you get hit by literally anything, it's just like psh, it just shatters. It's like a glass cannon, right? Like it
Yeah, it's a
shatters the
ward.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh, ward, yeah, yeah.
Get I made it. It was a relic that was it was a fragile shield, so it would break if anything hit it. But you got unlimited mend only for the shield. But you could put it
There's
back
only this
together.
one.
But yeah,
Picking up the pieces like a jigsaw puzzle.
it's like
Oh man, that's funny.
fixed. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you broke it again. Dang. Okay, I've got 3 questions for you, and then I'll let you go. What
sure.
is your next Amtgard goal? What are you working on right now?
My my by the time this episode comes out, like
Hmm.
Christmas, right? So I'll already
Okay.
be knighted. So that happens in February. So that's the current goal is to get to that. That's only from now X months away. And I want to say my next goal is probably battle. Like I feel like getting my battle master is probably my next goal, just because joined a new fighting company, ready to lock in, go to travel inner kingdoms, and just like go with my company mates and go to the field and be like, here's what's up. This is what Winter's Edge has to offer, and just go, dude. Like I feel like there's
Yeah.
so much potential for wizards that travel for sure. Battle Master is probably my next one. And then following that, probably my servant because I want to try to cook food and try to go for dragons for food and do an
Oh, that'd
all
be cool.
food serpent belt. Yeah. So, oh yeah, dude. Like I'm a half Filipino, so I do like a bunch of Filipino food
Okay.
and making like adobo and a bunch of like the culturally correct like dishes. I think people will enjoy because it's a lot more like so. The Filipinos have like a particular taste. They like a lot of vinegar and a very lot tart taste to their
Hmm.
foods, but also like everything's based in rice as well, obviously. But it's
Hmm.
just like it feels so good to be able to be like, here's this chicken. It's got good sauce on it. Or you can have this Filipino dish where I've actually like integrated these ingredients like basil leaves and minced garlic and vinegar, and it tastes good as opposed to it being like too sour or too like salty on the tongue. And that's
Yeah.
kind of what I want to try to do for my serpent belt because I feel like that would be super cool to do.
You're making me hungry, man. You gotta come,
Oh, dude, listen, I haven't made anything for myself in a few months, and I'm like, I want some adobo so
you
bad.
better get
So
on
next
that.
time,
What are you doing?
dude, listen, the next time I come up to Rising Winds, I'm gonna try to bring some adobo for everybody because it's like I talk about it all the time, and it's just like
Forget everybody else. Just bring
freaking,
some for
you
me.
know,
I want to try this. This sounds so good.
oh yeah, for sure, yeah. But yeah, that's kind of my next goal is battle, obviously being next because I'm 34. I'm starting to reach that point where my limbs don't work as well as they used to. So
Mm.
like I'm starting to get tendonitis and tennis elbow in my hands. So like these two fingers are currently numb. So I need to like focus that down before I'm not able to. So
Hmm.
that'll feel good.
Okay. You told us that you already taken one apprentice, but if somebody else wanted to be your apprentice, how would you want them to come and approach you about that?
And straightforward, man. Like especially for like newer players, like all you gotta do is come up and talk to me. I feel like I'm probably one of the most approachable people in our area, especially in the greater Winter's Edge. Like I feel like whether you're the cursed child or you've done a lot of things wrong, there's a reason why I'm called the Redeemed.
Mhm.
I've done dumb things and I'm redeemed now. So like come to me for information, especially whenever it comes to apprentices, which I already have one. I'm about to get another one because one is verbal and one is not. So the other one's EB, the one is verbal generalist. So it's just like I've got my two, so I'm gonna make those two MVPs and then they're gonna move up.
Fantastic.
I feel that people can just walk up to me and they can ask anything in relation to anything in Amtgard. Maybe not so much on battle games just because I'm 5 years deep into that, but like knowing what to do whenever you're out on the field and how to carry yourself for people, man. Like I've learned so much from my buddy Bunch, who isn't here anymore, but also just like my squire Oz the drone. He's taught me so much. He's my brother, and we're both getting knighted together, so it feels really good. But in terms of just the game in general, I would hope people would just approach me not just for Wizard, but just for everything in general, for sure.
Do you have any final advice before we end the show?
In a broad term of Amtgard, probably the number one thing that I feel that people should do is don't put your all into the game. It's a game for a reason, and burnout is huge. Don't make Amtgard your personality just because it's going to ruin everything, and you're not going to want to play the game anymore. Take it a step at a time. Enjoy the things that you can within the game, hanging out with friends, going to events, going out to eat on that late Sunday afternoon after the event and talking about the event. Those are the things you should look forward to, is the camaraderie with your friends that you've known for X amount of years. And it feels really good to know the people that have been here and moved on, to the next plane, and just like being able to spread the knowledge the plethora of knowledge that I have to other players is what gives me hope that our game will continue to grow and grow and grow to the point where it's just like everybody in the country is playing it, which is a really good feeling to have for sure. So my last bit of advice is don't make it to where it's your personality. Make it to where it's a game to you, and then you don't have anything to worry about.
All right. Well, thank you, Chopz, for coming on the show tonight. It's been so delightful talking Wizard with you. To you guys, our invisible guests at home, thank you for being here. This is the last video in 2025. It's the last of our 12 Paragons of Christmas. Comment down in the comment section. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in 2026.
Peace out, y'all.